Hello friends, you're once again welcome to another episode of Precious Cooking. I hope you enjoyed the last episode, but tell me the truth, confession time, did you actually try it? Well, if you did, why not give me feedback and let me know what you think and how you felt about that dish. Well, today is another exciting day. We are going to do something new and something that might be strange, especially to some of my Nigerian friends. But we are going to take out every misconception concerning that. Well, today we are going to be doing cassava leaves. Cassava leaves is a dish common to most West African countries, apart from Nigeria and I think Ghana. And this is what the cassava leaf looks like. And please take note, it's not every cassava leaves that you must try. Try this one in particular with the red stalk. Well, as I said, some people have a lot of misconceptions about cassava leaf. But to tell you the truth, cassava leaf is highly nutritious. It's one of the few vegetables that pest hardly destroys. So what are we talking about if we are talking about eating the right things? It means that this particular plant is free from chemicals, it's free from pesticide, it's also free from fertilizers and other things. And what are some of the health benefits? Cassava leaf is highly proteinous. Cassava leaf is rich in antioxidants. It aids with digestion. It's also rich in some of the B vitamins. Well, that's just to tell you about a few. We'll discuss it later. But for today, how do we prepare my favorite dish, cassava leaf? Well, as you can see here, our ingredients are displayed. This is the cassava leaf already grounded. I actually blended it. Back home in Sierra Leone, we pound it in a mortar, or you use a grinding machine, the hand grinder, to grind it, whichever way that is convenient for you. Don't let anything restrict you. And here we have our meat. You can use any meat. We have our palm oil. We have what we call ogiri. This is made from BENI seed. Sometimes another name for the BENI seed is sesame seed. You can see my okra or okro. And this is my pepper, which is already grinded. And this is beans. Well, this beans is not so common, especially here in Nigeria. We call it back home the broad beans. But don't let it deter you from doing this dish. You can always use any kind of beans. You parboil it before you add it to your cassava leaf, but you know when to add it. And this is a groundnut. We are going to blend it when it is time and add it to our cassava leaf. Some people, if they don't have it, they may end up using peanut butter, but I prefer using my fresh groundnut. Here I have BONGA fish and crayfish grounded together. Rather than using all these cubes which are loaded with chemicals, I believe this is the best thing I can use to sweeten my food and give it that original tasty taste. Because remember, try to avoid all these chemicals as much as possible. So another thing you can also add is you can add dry fish to this food. So now I'm going to take you step by step on how to prepare cassava leaves. First of all, so now I'm going to put my meat on the fire for it to start boiling. Well, if you notice, I'm not giving you time and things like that. The reason being that your meat they can be very different. There are some that within 30 minutes they are already cooked. There are some 45 minutes, and sometimes it can even take 1 hour. So the most important thing is for you to know when your meat is cooked. So I will leave the meat to boil now. I'll add water and wait for it to cook before I add my other ingredients.
Go.
Okay, our meat is cooked now, almost cooked. I will now add our ogiri and allow it to boil for a while before I'll now add the cassava leaf. We are making progress. Okay, cover it. Well, it's now time to add our cassava leaves. I will allow it to start cooking until the color changes to a pale, is it yellow or green? I'm not so much of a color person, but when it's time, you'll see it. As I said, we're going to add groundnut paste. While the cassava leaf is still boiling, I'll use the time now to blend my groundnut. Add water. Well, as I told you, when you place the cassava leaf, it was very green. When it gets to this point, you can now start adding your other condiments. I'm going to add my groundnut paste and okra. There are some people that put a lot of groundnut paste, some will put a little. That one, it depends on your own taste. Let me put a little bit of water and rinse my blender off. Then I will add my okra. Apart from the health benefit of okra, another reason why we add the okra is that by the time I put the palm oil, you find out it will be boiling and like jumping or dancing. The okra will help to let it settle and not be fighting with me. The aroma is already confusing me. As I told you, this is my favorite dish. I find it difficult to say no to my cassava leaf. Well, now I'm going to add the beans. As I told you initially, these beans I've already parboiled it. And peradventure you see these beans and you want to use it, when you are parboiling it, you have to be straining the water over and over, because it's the beans itself is slightly bitter. So when the bitter taste is gone, then you know you are through. So I'll put my beans now. I will add my palm oil. This palm oil is made from the palm. I will add my onions. Some people start with the onions, but over time I've discovered when you put the onions at the latter part, the fresh smell of the palm oil will not be there. So I'll allow it to cook a little bit, maybe for like 5-10 minutes, and then add my pepper and fish, and we are through. Well, now I'll add my pepper or pepper, depending on where you're from. Actually, I actually eat a lot of pepper, and if it is not enough, I will now add this my grounded pepper too. I think I need a little bit more of pepper. This is grounded pepper. Well, it may look, the colors may not look like the normal one, because what I did, I used the dried red pepper and then the Cameroonian dried pepper and mixed the two of them. I said this is mixed with the Cameroonian pepper and the normal pepper. I grounded both of them because it gives you a different flavor. So I'll add a little bit, and as I said earlier, I hardly cook cubes these days, so I'm going to use this, which is the grounded BONGA fish and the crayfish. I grounded it into a powder, so it's what I'll now use instead of my Maggi or nut cubes. And as I stir it, I will stir it for it to mix quickly. Taste it again. It needs a little bit of salt. We need a little bit of salt. We're there now. I'll now add my dry fish. And just allow it in another 5 to 10 minutes, it will be ready. And I'll now cook my rice. Okay friends, the food is ready. And for this episode, we are going to try the cassava leaves with eba. My friends in Malawi, if you do this dish, you can try it with your insima. In Ghana, you can try it with your donko or any other form of swallow. And also, we are going to try it with rice. And to try this food and make comments, in this episode, we have Brother Yemi. Brother Yemi is a man from Ibadan, is it the third largest city in Africa. So Brother Yemi, please. And Sister Tayo, you can help us check the rice and the cassava leaf and tell me how it tastes and what you think. So
the rice and cassava leaf, it tastes very nice.
It's rich and delicious. They're good delicacy.
So Auntie Tayo and Brother Yemi, you have eaten cassava leaves and you have not dropped yet, and you have confirmed that it's a tasty meal. Well, as I said, it's my favorite dish, and cassava leaf has so many nutritious value. So next time, try it. And that is the end of the episode for this session. To round it up, let me give you a tip. Our cooking tip for this week, it will be in the form of a nutritional information. Do you know that cassava leaf if you are a lactating mother, it is very good for you because when you eat it, it produces more breast milk. So do away with all the beverages. You don't want to add extra weight. Try cassava leaves. Your breast will flow. You're a pregnant woman, it's good for you. Your babies that are just coming up, it's wow. God bless you. See you on the next episode, and I'm telling you, it's going to be very exciting.